NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
Resist white supremacy!
All across NYC!
All across NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
Resist white supremacy!
All across NYC!
All across NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
Resist white supremacy!
All across NYC!
All across NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
Resist white supremacy!
All across NYC!
All across NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
Resist white supremacy!
All across NYC!
All across NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
Resist white supremacy!
All across NYC!
All across NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
Resist white supremacy!
All across NYC!
All across NYC!
Resist white supremacy!
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 Say his name!
Timothy Caughman!
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 Mic check.
Mic check!
Thanks for folks coming out.
Thanks for folks coming out!
It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy!
It's a shame
It's a shame
that we gotta be out here.
that we gotta be out here!
Timothy was killed
Was killed
by a white supremacist,
by a white supremacist!
by a white terrorist.
By a white terrorist!
He was killed
He was killed
by a white supremacist,
by a white supremacist!
by a white terrorist
By a white terrorist!
who came
Who came
from Baltimore
from Baltimore
to New York City,
to New York City
to our city,
to our city
to kill
to kill
black people.
black people!
He killed
He killed
Timothy.
Timothy!
We will not
We will not
say this man's name
say this man's name
because he wants to be known.
because he wants to be known.
Instead, we will say Timothy's name.
Timothy's name
And make sure no one ever forgets Timothy. No one ever forgets Timothy. No one ever forgets Timothy. We are going to hear from a couple speakers and then march to Midtown where Timothy was killed and have a moment of silence and honor the ground that he last stood on. First, we're going to have Roy Waterman from Drive Change speak to us.
Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Unfortunately, we are out here once again because there's been a tremendous injustice that has been done. Unfortunately, we have to come out here and rally, unify. I tell people all the time, in order for us to come together on one accord, we have to unify. We unify by gatherings. We unify by protesting, by rallying. The administration that is led by...
Oh, there you go. You got it? Well, we'll see. We'll see what the cops say. Let's try.
Mic check. Hello.
You got it.
Yes. So once again, we're here. Once again, we don't see outrage. We do not see the same type of outrage back in 2014 when we had someone that drove from Baltimore, that drove to the Brooklyn, New York to assassinate 2 officers. There was a lot of outrage. How it was a terrorist attack. How it was doing us and showing how we are as a country, as a city, how we unified around these officers. What we're saying today that Black Lives Matter. What we're saying today that the same outcry that was given for those officers need to be given for Timothy Caughman. Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
So we are out here to let the government, elected officials, and anyone else know that we will not tolerate another second, another minute of white supremacists, of terrorists going on in our country against people of color. We know we're living some trying times, but we have to come together and unify on one accord, on one voice. Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
People of color are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
Black people are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
People of color are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
Black people are under attack. What do we do?
Stand up like that.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Jason Walker, and I'm an organizer at Vocal New York. It's a little difficult for me to be here today. I do a lot of organizing in low-income communities of color, but I never had to speak on behalf of a person who's been killed by the hands of a white supremacist, of a racist. It's a little hard for me up here today, so bear with me. I want you to know that he was targeted because he was a person of color. He was a black man. He was targeted because he was representing one of our most vulnerable communities, low-income black men, with a history of homelessness, right? This is an issue that is rooted in not only poverty, but racism, classism, and housing stability. He came up here intentionally because of the tone that has been set in this country. Donald Trump set a tone of white supremacy and nationalism, right? Said he's gonna make America great again, but for who? Is this the greatness that he talks about? Why did he choose New York City? Maybe it's because of the tone the NYPD sets up here. Yes. Unaccountability. We have set a tone in this country seeing the slaying of black men being murdered, not only by our judicial system, but it's also been endorsed by Donald Trump. And white folks now have felt encouraged and emboldened to take steps to target folks that look like me. Our American system is to blame. It's not just the person that plunged that knife into his black body. It is our own American system, it is our country that is to blame. It is the New York Post that posted these stories, that wanted to talk about his criminal history to demonize him again. Public lynching this black man. Not only was he murdered on the streets, but he was murdered again by the media. We have to address the systemic institutionalized racism that permeates this society. From everyone to this man who got on the bus up here, to the NYPD, to the Daily News, to this presidential administration. They all are to blame for setting this tone.
That's right.
They killed not only a brother, but a potential leader in my movement to end homelessness.
Yep, that's right.
I organize homeless folks living with not only HIV, but homeless folks who have been ignored by this society. He was one of my potential leaders in this revolution for housing. He was one of my potential leaders to make sure we could end this wealth inequality. And they took him away from us.
Thank you. Thank you. Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
I'm gonna pass it over to my sister Carmen. Let's put you on the spot, but I'm
Good evening, brothers and sisters.
Good evening.
It's really hard to be here today. It was hard to wake up knowing that somebody came to our city and invaded our city and killed a black man and thought it was okay to do that. 3 hours on the road, knowing what he was gonna do, premeditated. He had his target. And so I want to say that in all my organizing, it was a hard day today. And it's because I love my black brothers and sisters. I love my community. And it hurts. It hurts deep down in the core of my heart and my soul to know that as we are erased from a narrative, not just here in the United States, but all over, there's an erasure of blackness that happens all over the world. White supremacy is deep. It's deep. It's deep in our institutions. It's deep in our companies. It's deep in our prisons. It's deep in our community. And so we have to be able to say, we need to stop white supremacy. There was a terrorist attack that happened here in New York. There's a white terrorist that came and took the life of a man. Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
And I want to thank all of you for being here, for showing up. Because we have to show up for one another. You may not think that this impacts you, but it does. Because if we allow this man to not be held accountable at the highest level, it's going to continue to happen. And it's been happening. It's been happening. It's just this time, some of us are paying attention. Some people are now, quote unquote, woke. And so I want to honor you, black men. I want to thank you. I see you. I will continue to fight for you. I will stand in solidarity with you. And I want you to know that we love you. We love you. Thank you.
Before we hear from the last speaker, I want to have all my fellow black sisters, brothers, folks, people say this, and white folks and folks who are non-black, please understand. But we're going to say this because we need to say this. And it goes, I am somebody. And I deserve. Full equality. Right here. Right now. I am somebody. And I deserve. Full equality. Right here. Right now. I am somebody. And I deserve. Full equality. Right here. Right now. I am somebody. And I deserve. Full equality. Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now. Thank you. And thank you. Next up, it's another sister of mine, Miss Linda Sarsor.
Good evening, sisters and brothers.
Good evening.
My son is 17 years old and his name is Tamir. And my son is an autograph collector. And that's his hobby and he loves it. And he's an autograph collector here in New York City. And that's how I want to remember Timothy. Timothy Caughman was an autograph collector. He was a human being that had joy, and that was something that gave him joy. He was somebody's son. He was somebody's friend. And he was killed here in our city, in the most progressive, liberal city in the world. And I always try to think about what kind of light do we get today standing here after the murder of our brother Timothy Caughman. And I think that what I want him to know is that his death is not in vain. And that his death is reminding us to not be distracted, my sisters and brothers. That Timothy Caughman is one black man killed at the hands of a white supremacist. But we have black people in our country being killed every single day. We have missing girls in a place like Washington, D.C. I want you not to be distracted by the clowns and white supremacists and racists in the White House.
That's right.
Distraction is a tactic of fascism. They want you to be distracted. They want you to forget about what is most important. What is most important is our communities, is those that we love and those who are around us. Sisters and brothers, wake up. We stand here today to honor Timothy, but we also use this as an opportunity to honor the many black men and women in our history who have been killed at the hands of white supremacy and the system that we call American democracy. Please focus on these girls in Washington, D.C. Focus on those young people of color being killed at the hands of law enforcement across this country. Focus on the young people of color and their families who are being destroyed by an immigration system so draconian that it's stripping our communities and fabrics apart. So today I honor Timothy by saying thank you. Thank you for being a light for us in this dark moment and reminding us to get back to work and back to work hard. We are fighting the old fights. There's nothing new to see here. White supremacy is not exclusive to Donald Trump and the cronies that are in the White House. White supremacy has been on these shores of the United States of America since the days of its founding. And we need to honor that and remember that so we can fight white supremacy together, united. Today, you are New York City. And I hope that you stand here today and commit to us that you will fight this fascist regime, whether it comes in the form of a president, a vice president, Congress, the mayor, the district attorney, or ordinary Americans around us who hate us enough to want to hurt us and those that we love. Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Say his name.
Timothy Caughman.
Thank you, my sisters and brothers.
So we're about to march. Sorry. If folks can make sure, there will be marshals at the march. They'll be pointing like this way and that way. They'll be pointing different directions. Trust them. Like I said, we're gonna go up to the Herald Square area, right around where Timothy was murdered, and we're going to give some blessings in different forms, and just remember him. I'm gonna ask folks to just part a little bit this way. If folks move that way, let's move that way, so that we can get a front line going for the march.
Trying to bring us down.
So we're gonna stand our ground.
So we're gonna stand our ground.
Hey, hey, hey. Mama, mama, can't you see?
Mama, mama, can't you see
What the state has done to me?
what the state has done to me?
They keep trying to bring us down.
They keep trying to bring us down.
So we're gonna stand our ground.
So we're gonna stand our ground.
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey. Mama, mama, can't you see what they did to Timothy? Trying to bring us down. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
shut it down. I'm gonna wait for everybody to kneel down if they can. We are here.
We are here.
We are here.
We are here.
In Midtown.
In Midtown.
Where Timothy Caughman
Get it, girl. Get it. You take your time, girl. Take your time, girl.
Take your time.
Take your time. It's all right.
Come on.
Take your time.
Come on. Come on. You got this.
All right.
Come on. Come on.
All right.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
All right.
Let it out.
You got this. You got this. Let's go. You got
don't
this.
have no problems now. We only have problems. Right. He's all right.
When you kill the chosen one, you're going to answer. And I'm telling you, Trump, even though my voice is slow, and I ask Mr. Trump, I will make sure you will not have a rest. You are going to pay for whatever you've done. God gives time to repent. But when you do not repent, the chosen one, you do not mess with my people. You killed him, you killed your soul. And I'm telling you, call yourself whatever you call. It doesn't matter whatever money you have. Black Lives Matter.
Thank you. On Wednesday, the white supremacists, entered the Midtown South, precinct to say he was here to kill black people. This is Trump's America. This is the America. Or the United States, I will say. That was built. Upon genocide. Upon slavery. On the backs. Of indigenous. And black people. Yeah. We are here. To hold. A moment of silence. For Timothy. Because this ends today. This stops today. We won't take this anymore. We won't take this anymore. Before we have a moment of silence. I would like for black people and black people only to repeat after me. I am somebody. And I deserve full equality. Right here. Right now. I am somebody. And I deserve full equality. Right here. Right now. I am somebody. And I deserve full equality. Right here. Right now. I am somebody. And I deserve full equality. Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now. Now
Let us
have a moment of silence.
have a moment of silence.
Say his name! Timothy Caughman! 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 I can hear you! 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 Timothy Caughman! What's his name? Timothy Caughman!
Say his name.
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 Timothy Caughman!
Thank you, everybody.
What do you think will happen to the DNC now? I don't give a damn about the DNC. I haven't supported a Democrat since 2000 when I voted for Nader, and of course was Nader's speechwriter. I long, after 1994, with the passage of NAFTA, we should have walked out on the Democratic Party and built an alternative party that actually defended the interests of workers. We wouldn't have ended up like this.